Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Today's Saturday, April 16th. We are talking MLB betting value with SBR contributor Ian Cameron, and we've done overall pretty well with the games that we've been assigned to cover. Yesterday, we had a winner with KC as a small underdog. Today, the game we've been assigned is Baltimore at Texas. Now, Ian Cameron, I don't have to tell you that Baltimore is by far the most profitable team in baseball as of right now. Small sample size, of course, but they're clearly an impressive team. Clearly been winning. They're number one in the ROI standings overall. Crushed Texas yesterday, got another win there. Texas, though, has been good. They've been slightly profitable themselves, but Baltimore just appears to be a juggernaut right now. And we're getting Baltimore as a small road underdog. Right now, the line is Baltimore plus 105. That's a few places market-wide, and Texas on the other side, minus 110. The total is 10. Yesterday's game went way over. We could see the same thing here with Gallardo and Colby Lewis, two starting pitchers that appear to be pretty vulnerable. I'm not exactly sure what I think about the total as of right now, but as far as the side is concerned, got to be thinking Baltimore at plus 105, and also Baltimore on the second half line, which should be about, minus 120, minus 130, something like that. What do you think, Ian Cameron?
Yeah, from a value standpoint, I would not argue with that one bit. I do believe that the Baltimore Orioles have value. I mean, they've been a team that a lot of people have underestimated coming into this season. There's no question about that. My concern tonight, even though I lean to Baltimore in this game, is Yovani Gallardo. I mean, this guy's had a boatload of issues coming into the season. Didn't have a very good spring, was battling some nagging injuries. There was some concern about his health coming into the regular season. And he's had 2 starts so far. Yeah, the first start was very good for Yovani Gallardo, but that was against a Minnesota Twins team that just can't hit the ball, can't hit a wet paper bag basically with the baseball right now. Been just a terrible season for them offensively for the most part to this point. But then when he faced a very potent lineup, Yovani Gallardo, Boston Red Sox last week at Fenway Park, much different story for him. He did not pitch well in that game, got crushed for 5 runs on 7 hits and just 5 innings of work. It's a guy that's averaged over 17 pitches per inning so far this season. That's a pretty high number of pitches on a per inning basis. What does that tell me? Well, it tells me he's in stressful innings more often than not. And stressful innings mean innings where, where's your arm out, basically. And people are on base routinely. You're having to work out of trouble. And that's definitely a concern for me with Yovani Gallardo tonight in Texas against a ballpark that is certainly not one that I don't think he can fare extremely well in here. And let's not forget Yovani Gallardo with the Texas Rangers for the last couple of seasons, and a Rangers lineup that should be very familiar with Yovani Gallardo, his arsenal, and what he can deliver. So I would expect this Texas lineup to bring some pretty quality at bats against Gallardo. They'll have some great familiarity with him. So I think they can score some runs here tonight in this one. But the problem is, on the flip side, Peter, you got Colby Lewis on the mound for the Texas Rangers, and really, he's been okay at times, but he's never been a guy that's really impressed me. In this ballpark, he's got a over 5 ERA pitching here in Texas. And against the Baltimore Orioles, you see what Colby Lewis has done in recent starts against this Orioles lineup. It hasn't been pretty. He's given up 5 runs or more in 3 straight starts against the Orioles going back to 2012. Many Baltimore hitters. Adam Jones has good numbers in his career against Colby Lewis. How about Chris Davis, Manny Machado, and J.J. Hardy? All 3 of those Orioles hitters hitting better than 300 against Lewis in their careers with strong numbers against him. So, Baltimore's lineup, familiar with Lewis, has a pretty good track record against him. They should be able to score their share of runs. We saw a wild 11-5 game last night, soared way over the total between these two teams. And it's worth noting, both bullpens, Baltimore's bullpen actually has been pretty good this season, but even they've shown a few cracks lately in the last few games. And Texas's bullpen, as I've said on more than one occasion, it was expected to be a really good bullpen like it was last season, but they've had some struggles so far, this Texas bullpen. So that should open the door for late runs from these two teams against some bullpens that have not been quite as good, particularly Texas's bullpen in the early part of the season. So, we saw a slugfest last night, Peter, between these two teams. Wouldn't surprise me to see more of the same. So I lean to Baltimore, but my stronger opinion on this game is to look over the total, 9.5 runs. I got 9.5. I believe actually it's 10 runs now pretty much across the board. But to see this one get into double digits in total runs scored would not surprise me. Could be a few crooked numbers in Arlington between the Orioles and Rangers here tonight.
Yeah, Ian, the 9.5s that are available right now are about minus 130. The market line is basically right now 10 on this game. Could easily see it going over. I would agree with you on that one, Ian Cameron. I'm also thinking about Baltimore on the second half, referring to what Ian Cameron said about Texas's bullpen and the problems with Gallardo. I'm certainly in agreement with that, and not happy to be betting on Gallardo in any way at any point this season. Ian Cameron, thanks so much. Talk to you again very soon.
All right, thanks, Peter. Enjoy the games and good luck.